welcome to the episode 2 of Mysteries Unfolded, powered by Evermark Homes. In the last episode, we told you every single thing this program is going to be bringing to you, the secrets, every single thing you should know about investing in real estate, the pros, the cons, the disadvantages, questions that you need to ask before investing in real estate. And today, we have the esteemed executive director of Evermark Homes here with us today, someone that has increased the administrative and the operational workflow of the company. In his time, we've had hundreds of allocations done, and customer experience has gone up to 100%. In the person of Mr. Marshall Bernard. Nice to meet you, sir. We're happy that you're in studio here with us today.
Take it easy with the hype, Sylvia. You're making me feel like Tony Elumele already, but I'm glad to be here.
All right. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence, sir. So today, if you're a Nigerian in the diaspora and you're watching this video, just bring your seats closer. We have something for you. You know what? So many Nigerians in the diaspora are going through this thing we want to talk about, but they do not even know it. But trust us now, and trust me, Sylvia, I'm definitely going to talk about it. And today, I'm not going to be having this conversation alone. Like I said, I have Mr. Marshall Bernard here with me to have these conversations with you in diaspora. So let's move into the order of the day. So, Mr. Marshall, our first topic for today that has to really do with Nigerians in diaspora is about why you think Nigerians in diaspora do not want to invest in real estate in Nigeria, in their home country.
Why they don't want to invest?
Yeah, why do you think they do not want to invest?
You know, even if we're on set, we already talked before getting here. No filter.
Yeah.
As it is, I'm telling you, right? The first thing about investing in Nigeria from diaspora is exchange rate. And from my experience, right, I've spoken with some of these people, I've dealt with them, and I can understand how they feel. It's easy for them to invest, quite all right. It's easy. By the time if you're changing $1,000, it's millions in already, and a few more thousands of dollars, probably have 300 square meters in Ibejuleki, you get. So it's easy if you're looking at it from that direction. But what's the apprehension? If you want to change it back the other way around, you get, because these are people who, if you're in the US, for example, you're spending $1,000, I don't know if it will carry you for a month.
No, I don't think
that's a stretch.
That's not even
Share you see.
Yeah.
So let's be practical now. Let's say you spend 100 million naira in investing, in Nigeria, and it's there you have that kind of investment. And let's see, approximately in a month, this 100 million naira is giving you, what can 100 million naira give you in a month? That kind of investment. Let's just say you have 5 million, 10 million every month. So
rent rate.
No rent rate. I don't think that can that work. Let's be more practical. Let's be more practical. A
short-let rate.
Okay, let's say 2-bedroom apartment. 2-bedroom apartment in Chevron, for example. Let's say you get it for 120 million, 150 million. That's what it is right now.
120 million, 130
That's what
million.
it is right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So you get it for that rate, and if you want to do normal rent, right, landlord tenant rent, I don't know, that should not give you more than 5-6 million naira in a year.
Yes.
You see that? And if you want to do short lets, business is good, 4 million monthly.
All right.
Yeah. Or 5. Because there are costs that you incur. Let's just leave it at 4. 4, right?
Running
or
costs on the shortlets, maintenance and all of that.
And everything.
Yeah.
They just say you do clean 4 million naira every month. This investment is 120 million. 4 million going to 1 year. How much does that give you? Let's take it slow. What is 4 million naira converted to dollars? I think that should be less than $3,000.
Yeah, it's less than.
Just
that should be like about $2,000 something. $2,000 something per month.
Okay, so this is the average person that can afford this property. This is like their monthly rent in the US. So imagine buying a house in Nigeria and what the house is doing for you is paying your rent in the US. You do the math. How many of, how do you really want to invest? And, it's not just easy buying this house, right? It takes a lot of time because as you're making the money in dollars, you're spending the money in dollars over there as well. So accumulating this money to do this investment, it's not snap of the fingers. So what I'm trying to tell you is exchange rate is one of the things that I've had people complain to my face, like it's not worth it to them, right? That is if that is how they want to go about it, because there are different reasons for investing. But if you want to invest because you want it to service you back, you're in the US, you want to put money in Nigeria, you want Nigerian currency to service you back, you do the math.
Well, I think for now, having the Nigerian currency service you back cannot really work in the investment aspect in real estate for now. I think most people invest to have something back home. They're not thinking about what the investment is going to bring for them right now. Also, I also want to believe that the Nigerian economy will get better.
Amen.
Yes, I also want to believe that the Nigerian economy will get better, because I had a conversation with a client about 2 months ago when she purchased a property for 67 million naira, and I think that was when pound was about 500 naira to 1 pound, and she said right now that property is selling for 160 million, and then we did a conversion rate. She said then all she had to pay was 60,000 pounds to pay in naira for 67 million naira. And right now when we had to convert it, I think all she made in like 3 years was about 7,000 pounds, because the current rate in Nigeria right now gave us that property at 76,000 pounds. 76,000 pounds, and then she paid. Yeah, so I think when we did the rough estimate, then I think she didn't make up to 10,000 pounds in 3 years.
I've done rough estimates with people who run at a loss. Well, although we know that's investment, right? It's a risk, but then if you want to go about it that way, but you have a point. The intention of investing, that has a lot. It's a lot of factor in it. So if you're investing to have something back home, if you're investing, let me just have these things, right? It's a wise one. But I'm just telling you from my observation, what keeps people back, what holds people back, if it comes to investment in that regard, from talking about diasporans now, right? What holds them back? The first thing they're thinking about is the exchange rate. I've had people like, nothing, no need. Let me just hold my dollars.
Well, for me, I'm of the opinion that you can still invest. It's not a reason why you would say you don't want to. I also want to believe that at the point the economy will get better. I believe this is just a phase. I also believe that there are people that have the same mindset that I have, that this is just a phase that we are in Nigeria, and then the economy will get better, and then your investments can appreciate over time.
Well, let's not close the curtain on this. What I just said, right, is for diasporans, especially those who are thinking about having the investment service them while they are there.
Okay.
Right. There are brilliant parts. For example, what does your investment here can mean something here, right? Doesn't necessarily have to service you over there. Plot of land that you bought 2 years ago, for example, for 400. I know somebody who bought a plot of land for 3 million, 3.5 million naira. Right now, I think that plot of land is going for 20-something million.
I know someone that bought,
and it's just a short period of time.
Yeah, I know someone that bought a plot of land for 50 million naira in like maybe 11 months ago. 50 million naira, and that same square meter right now, the cheapest you can get, even within that area, I'm not even talking about your own, within that area, the cheapest you can get is 130 million. I
think we're even going too far. 300 square meters of Chevy Castle Lakers was selling barely a year ago for 55 million naira. Right now it's worth over 100 million, 140 million to be exact. So that's like two times plus within 1 year. And it's not just a hype. This is what's actually selling.
And then we have clients that purchased then come back and be like, oh, do you still have extra? I want to purchase. And then you tell them the price and they're like,
yeah.
You mean my investment has appreciated this?
Yeah. Same thing with main castle, right? Somebody was paying. I was in office with, I think, with the MD here. Somebody came in and we were transacting on main castle. The person was one of the first people that bought 2-bedroom.
That's 80-something.
80-something million. You tell me how much it is right now. Anyway, what we're trying to say is, while the conversion rate might not support diasporans who want their investment in Nigeria to service them in diaspora, it may not be very pretty. Nonetheless, your investment can be meaning something in Nigeria. Right here in Nigeria.
Okay, Mr. Marshall, let me come in from another angle right now. So we have diasporans that really want to invest in Nigeria but are scared of scam. We have diasporans that have fallen victims of, like, maybe family members sending money to family members and then they don't show them what they paid money, what they sent money home for. Or diasporans that are even scared of investing with developers, buying properties from developers. What do you have to say about that? Like, what would you say to the diasporans? Because we've called them to come and listen to us right now. What do you have to tell them about investing?
You're sending money to your family member to build a house for you. So first of all, your family member is a surveyor, an engineer, or whatever. I mean,
but I can call my uncle in the village and
to do what? You want to build a house in the village?
Please, is there any land? I've made money. I want to invest close.
Chances are your family member is not a professional. Chances are that.
Yeah, true.
And even if you have family members, if I have a surveyor in my family, if I have a lawyer or I have a retailer, believe me, I don't want to deal with that person in that way. I don't want to. You know how quickly these things can go south. And family is a very delicate, it's a very delicate affair. You don't want to have issues in your family, no matter who the person is, right? If you want to give them money, give them money. Right? There are many ways you can empower your family. They don't have to build your house for you. They don't have to do. Well, there are people who have had good experiences. I mean, I'm just telling you from where I'm sitting, it's a no. Leave the family alone. Let it be just there. Want to do Christmas for them? Do Christmas for them. Leave development to the professionals. Do you get? So that's on the one hand. On the other hand, when you now go to professionals, I mean, it goes without saying that you should look for proper professionals. Do your investigations. Of course, we know there are people who parade themselves.
There are professionals and
there are proper professionals. You get what I'm saying? There are people who parade themselves. I'm not talking about. Let's not go into that. So there are professionals, people with track records.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see. When we're dealing and people call me, they're trying to establish trust, they're trying to establish authenticity. I tell them, don't talk too much. Go and see what you've done. We have things we've done. They're there. Go and see the Castle Marks. It's sold out. People are living there right now. We built it. We sold it from scratch. We have many of them like that. See, we have a high rise in Chevron. Go and see for yourself. Check. Before you commit, make your findings and
find. The person has a track record, a proven track record.
Proven track record is very important. Not just I've done this, I know where I've been, I know I've sold for this.
Or someone just comes to advertise a property for you, and then you don't make your research, and then you just invest. You don't know if the developer is just cut and join developer, or someone that just woke up today and just decided to build a house and sell.
Well, like I said, track record is very important because we have many of those people parading themselves, right? I don't want to go into much of those details, but track record is something you cannot dispute.
I've also heard someone say that it's better for you to deal with a company than for you to deal with just a one man. Like, knowing that it's a company, you know who to hold. In fact, someone said
you don't need to quote somebody. You would you prefer to deal with one person or a company? We're talking about millions because this investment is something that runs into millions, right? If you were to recover your 20 million, 30 million, 100 million, would you prefer to recover it from a company that has an office that you can always walk into, or maybe one guy that you met on Instagram or something? That's that
company now, so that when I want to drag them,
so you know who to drag. So that when you want to take them to Scott to drag, you know who to test Scott. It is this company. That's what's happening.
That's what's happening right now. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So diasporans, Nigerians and diasporans, what we want to advise you is that make sure you go for someone with a proven track record. You know, someone that you can see investment that the person have done, buildings, people, feedbacks from people, you know, that can also work for you. And on to the next. So I know people, I don't want to even come from it. I know people that jackpot and they had to sell their properties to Japa. And you know, we're talking about diaspora. So what do you have to say about that? Like, if someone gets the opportunity to Japa today, would you advise the person to sell the person's property or have something to fall back on, or always have something to fall back on? Yeah, I'm seeing this from two angles. Before I move it over to you, I'm seeing it from the angle of, yeah, the person needs money to Japa, you can Japa. Me, I'm also of the opinion that you always need to have something you can fall back on, because this is your motherland, this is your country, this is where you are. So,
how they say, different strokes for different folks. It depends on the circumstances. But let me correct something from my own point of view. He said people who so somebody who has the opportunity to Japa is not an opportunity, at least not to me. It's not. It's frustration that is pushing them out. Well, at least using the word Japa, right? If that's the idea, it's not really an opportunity. Like somebody who is drowning and looking for whatever means to stay afloat. You get. So if that's where they're coming from, it will tell whether or not they should sell what they already have.
Okay.
Right? Don't get me wrong. There are people who move. Let's start with relocation. Leave the Japa alone first. People relocate. It's a proper thing. It's a nice thing.
Yeah, I know people that relocate.
From one country to another, it's a different thing. But if we're using Japa, the context of Japa, in fact, I don't know how many people who have property that want to Japa. That's not Japa anymore. It's not Japa anymore. It is survival. Because if you have a property that you can sell for how many millions, right? And you want to sell it and move, I don't think that's Japa. Well, maybe that is either relocation or semi-relocation. Japa is flee. You're running away from something that is pursuing you. Something that is pursuing you. Maybe, as they say, now you don't want Nigeria to happen to you. You don't want the economy to happen. You don't want whatever to happen to you. And like,
you're not even trying to stay afloat. Like, you're trying to fight for your life.
You've done your calculations in your life, and you're like, if I stay here, no future. I mean, you've done your projections. That doesn't apply to everybody. It's individualistic. So this will determine whether that person should sell their property, sell everything they have. But if I were to leave, I'm not leaving. I don't have plans. But if I were to leave here completely and move elsewhere, I would do away with everything that, if possible, my family sell them, sell my family and have a new family over there.
Not that bad.
Right? Well, like I said, it's circumstantial. What are the circumstances? There are people who want to move without a trace. There are people who want to create a point. There are some people who want to leave because others are leaving. Yeah. So what is informing your decision to move?
So we had this conversation earlier, and someone mentioned that, what about you sell? What if you sell your property? You Japa. Your situation is Japa. Your situation is not relocation.
Okay.
You Japa. Let's use the word. You Japa, and you get there and something happens. What do you fall back on? Anything can happen. Say man proposes, God disposes. That's how it's said, right? Anything can happen. You cannot determine what's going to happen in 5 years and 6 years. The example someone gave was that, what if you get there and then you and your partner divorce, and then it just happens to be that your partner is the one making you stay there. That's, you're dependent to your partner. I don't know how it's being said, but I'm sure you that you're in the diaspora, you understand what I mean. And then you have to come back. What do you fall back on? How do you go from someone that used to have like a 3-bed to now squatting with a family member, or now having to pay rent, and then the whole... So what do you have to say about that?
No, that cannot work at all. Anyway, that's my point. If you're leaving, you leave. That's how I work. You move, no looking back.
Well, for me, I'm of the opinion that, in fact, there's no need for me to even talk too much again. You that are watching me, which category do you fall under? Are you under Japa or you're under relocation? And if you Japa, hope you did not sell everything. If you sold everything, rethink, make better choices, because I'm of the opinion that you should always have something to fall back on. But this topic, we're not going to end it here. It's going to extend to our online viewers. So please drop your comment. On to the next question. So our next question is going to be about people that have relocated. I'm not talking about the diaspora, people that have relocated over the years. Like what's happening in the United States now with Donald Trump, about illegal immigrants and people that have been in the country for about 6 years, 7 years, and then their visas are being revoked or one thing or the other. The issues that are happening in the United States now. What do you have to say about that? Still talking about the diasporans.
Well, I think if you quote Donald Trump now, you practically you've put me in a chokehold, because I think we now start looking at it from that angle of nobody knows tomorrow. Donald Trump says he's looking to conduct the largest deportation exercise in history on the history of the US, the largest, and Joe Biden had quite a number. What Donald Trump has been doing so far has not reached what Joe Biden did. Just think about that. So what he's saying is he has not even started.
For real?
He has not even started. So you have a point there. Although I'm going to put that into perspective. Right now, a lot of people are facing a nightmare in the US. It's not only illegal immigrants, not only people that enter the country. That's one. As for those illegal guys, just know that you're coming back. That's what it is.
So if you've ever been in
unless
US for over 10 years.
Now it even extends. It even extends. There's something called denaturalization that they are working on right now. Now that's even the scariest part. Even those who were born there. You remember the flex, to put it that way, used to be your wife is 6 months pregnant, 7 months pregnant.
You go to
flight ticket to the US citizen.
Yeah.
So all these people that say the US citizenship by birth,
yeah.
Donald Trump is really coming for them. But I think that's where your investment idea comes in, so that whether you're there or not, whether you japa, you don't want to come back or not, always it's important to have something back home. Because when you're being deported, deportation is actually sending you back to where you came from. If you came out of a hole, that's where you're going back.
Don't go and japa that.
Like I said, I was going to put it in perspective. You have a point. You have a point. Does not mean it's not the final point. It's not the final point, though. Let me tell you, if I was looking at it from that aspect, right? Japa, even if Japa happened to me, even if, let's say I moved 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, and I'm to come back. No option. I really have to come back. The way I sold all my things in Nigeria and left, that's the same way I would sell everything, liquidate whatever asset I had in the US, and come back. By the time, imagine in this Tinubu's economy, I have like $500,000 or $200,000, whatever. And I think I'll buy like how many hectares in Chevron?
Right.
And I'll just start there.
agree. You buy that amount because you have that money. But what if you bought, now you buy how many hectares in Chevron at the current rate? What if you bought it 2 to 3 years ago? You will not even be buying it at the rate at which you be buying it right now.
That's correct. I agree with you. But then
you will not be buying it at the rate. If you bought it 2 years, 3 years ago, that you were still in the US, that you were still earning very well in the US, you will not be buying. We're talking about the case of buying a 300 square meter for 50 million. Within 11 months, it's now 140 million. So if you had about $200,000 in the US there, and the case of Japa happens to you, you'll be buying it at the rate of 142 million. Meanwhile, someone else bought it at a lesser rate. So all of this is just...
Oh yeah, but remember how we started. You're talking about Naira. I'm talking about dollars. It's a different thing altogether. By the time I convert my dollars, I will not even be feeling this Naira drama at all. Anyway, I think we both agree that investment in Nigeria is important, but then it's about, that's for diasporans, it's about perspective. What perspective are you coming from? And the truth is, most of our people don't want to come back. So if they are coming back, it's by force, right? It's by force. So perspective or no perspective, it's wise to have something here. But then if you want to be like me, put all your eggs in one basket. I'm the kind of person that puts all my eggs in one basket, and when I'm liquidating, that basket will be huge.
Oh yeah, in the case of deportation, would you even have the time to liquidate your properties?
Time? Yes, it depends. If you're coming from prison, if they are deporting you from prison, that's your issue. But then my concept has always been close one chapter, so that you do everything possible for the other chapter to work, right? I'm coming. Now, the things you're putting in place for the other chapter to work also require you to stay out of that prison I'm just talking about. I don't know if you get what I mean. Don't do illegal things, so that you're not finding yourself in a position where they are packaging you out of you get they are gathering you like, oh yeah, go, that kind of thing, right? But in fact, there's something called self-deportation. I don't know if you've heard about it. Right now in the US, there's an app. Look it up. Self-deport. You can self-deport. Right? So if you find yourself, there are categories. If you find yourself in one of those categories that they say, if we catch you, you will move. It's important you start the process yourself. You can actually do that. And that's what I would do if I was in that situation. I would go, I want to move. Give me time, I need to liquidate, I need to whatever. Don't steal your stuff from you. Gather the thousands of dollars that you've worked for with your sweat. Bring it back and buy half of Lekki.
Oh, emphasis on buying half of Lekki. Well, for me, I'm of the opinion that you should always have something back home.
That's correct.
You should always have something back home. It's very important for you to invest back home in Nigeria here, and not just because of you want your investments to, fund your lifestyle wherever you are. We have people there are people that come back for dirty December. You're telling me they come back for dirty December. And whenever they come back for dirty December, they stay in their properties. So instead of you can decide to buy a 2-bedroom apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment in Nigeria here, in Maryland, in Chevron. You can decide to buy a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom apartment, and then while you're in the diaspora, you kept it on short let, and it's running, it's giving you monthly income, it's giving you daily income, and then when you decide to come back to your home country, you get to stay in the comfort of your home, right? So you're still going to make money, and then you're still going to have something in your name back in your home country.
It's a win-win situation. Quite all right, I agree. For especially diasporans, they always want to come back. That's the truth.
There's no place like home.
No. Calm down.
I'm of that opinion. There's no place like home.
Hey, no. We calming down. When I say they always want to come back, it's not like they want to. Not the way things are actually happening now. They want to visit. They want to come and spend time with their homies. Want to spend time with their family, right? And many of them, the issues they have when they come, they want to they'll have to stay in a hotel
or stay
in a shortlet or whatever, something that they could be staying in their own hotels or in their own shortlets, right? That had they invested here properly. So it's important to have.
We also have people that retire back home. We have the category of people that retire back home. I know a friend's client that is serious, that has been buying properties over the years, and in fact he got about a 10-bedroom bungalow and said that's his retirement house. He has been in the US for over 30 years with his family, and he said he's going to leave his family and come back there to retire in a very nice estate somewhere in Aja. So we have people that are also planning to retire back, still in that same investment they've made.
Well, that's a reasonable thing. That's a reasonable thing to do. At some point, you're going to have to retire. At some point, you will not work. You will not work forever with your life. So I think we can both agree that retirement is best done at home.
Okay. We've had a good time with Mr. Marshall here. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. And we've had our agbas and our agbos, and we've reached an agreement that investments back home is really, really important. And thank you to the sponsor of this program, that's Evermark. And lest I forget, there are new properties and products that we have in the market right now. We have Kuje Abuja, where we have 300 and 500 square meter plots, also the commercial plots for sale. And we also have Maryland apartments and duplexes, where we have 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and a 5-bedroom duplex up for sale. So right now the infos are being displayed on your screen, and these are the right properties that you can choose from if you are in the diaspora, and you can make your research about the company, the developer, and then you can invest in these properties. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, watch out for episode 3. You know what, don't forget to drop your comments, because we're going to attack your comments. From those your comments, that's where we would coin our next episode from. Watch out for episode 3. Until then, see you. Bye. Mwah.